Hey, this is Marius making yet another video today, Monday the 18th. I wanted to apologize to those out there that, that think I'm doing too many videos rather than doing some written articles. I am not the best writer. I know some people might say, I've written some things which are good, but writing is actually not my forte at all. I've had many people tell me that, people that actually do write. So that's what I'm dealing with every time I walk by here. I hope I caught that. So it's very hard, I think, for me at least, to write intelligently in a way that kind of conveys all the things that I want to convey, because A, I'm not a very good writer, and B, a lot of times when I do things naturally like this, where it just flows out of my heart, it comes out the right way. And sometimes you overthink when you write. You kind of overthink things too much, and I think there's a certain freedom that comes from trying to record this way. Now, obviously, everybody's got their, they talk about how people have different methods of learning and methods of expression. Some people are tactile, some people are visual, some people, sense of smell. Some people, what's the fourth one? I forget. But in any case, there are different methods of learning and communicating, and this is mine. And again, I really want to emphasize that I would love to have someone else besides myself writing, because I am not the best writer in the world. It would be really nice if we could find some people that would join us and do some of the writing. So I'll keep it at that. Again, writers, please call me, email me. If you're doing your own blog, contact me and we'll find a way of you contributing to my blog in addition to what you do on your own blog. I'll support you any way that I can. The idea at the end of the day is for this to be a collective effort, for this to have more power than one person could by themselves. There are other news organizations that do that, that have multiple people that are on the blog or multiple people that are writing, and they combine their collective ideas, and then it goes out into the world. So that's the goal. My goal is to have a number of people that contribute, a number of people with different ideas, and to create an atmosphere, an environment which leads other people to contribute and other people to come up with ideas of their own, particularly within the Facebook group, where people can just talk, person to person, or by a thread. So in this video, I'm promoting two things. One, finding a writer, somebody out there that would like to contribute to the blog. You could use your own material, you could use your own blog, whatever. Let's just talk. And then the second thing is contributing, it doesn't matter who you are, to contribute your thoughts to the meetup group discussion thread. So just get a discussion going. I've posted a number of things over the last several days, all sorts of different issues. Pick an issue. Let's talk about it. What's important to you? Go for it. And let's talk about it, and let's see if there's some action that can be taken. Let me give you an example of something with my friend Girgis, who lives, or used to live, right next door to my parents. He is a Coptic Christian. Coptics in Egypt are persecuted by Muslims. And by the way, I am not saying that Muslims are bad or anything like that. I'm just saying that in Egypt there's a scenario that we can do something about it, because our money goes to the state of Egypt, quite a bit in fact. And we have a right to say, look, if you guys are going to persecute, a minority, and we're not just talking about like books or talking, we're talking about death, churches being burnt with people in them. We've got to put our thumb on the scale and say we do have power, and we're going to call on that power if you don't change. And that is exactly what Change and Evolve is all about. It's about taking a topic of discussion that we have, something that's on our minds, and saying, what can we do to create the change that we want? Doesn't always mean that we're going to be successful. Doesn't always mean that that any one of us has the answer. But that's what's so brilliant about this, which is that we get together and we collectively address the issue with our thoughts and our minds. So let's create discussions on the Facebook group. Let's talk to each other, whether it's via email or, a lot of you can probably see each other on the Facebook group. There was a friend of mine, a coworker of mine, well, I'm not going to say her name, but she lost someone recently. And, just imagine how nice it would be for someone out of the blue to contact you and say, I'm sorry about the loved one that you lost. That's beyond the actual intellectual part of this, there's also the human connection, which is that we have these opportunities to connect with people that we never knew before. There's probably a bunch of you who don't know other bunches of groups that are on my Facebook profile. Whether it's here in the United States or whether it's Israel, for example, I've got friends from Israel, family. When we connect and when we relate to each other, we become that much more powerful. And again, I can't even emphasize this enough, but if you look in the news, there's lots of examples of this going on. And in fact, I posted a couple of these to the Change and Evolve timeline on Facebook and on Twitter. And that's the other thing. So for those of you that just follow what I write or the video blogs, well, that's not even the half of what I do. In fact, it's the minority. The tweets that I put out there, the messages, the things that I see in the news, the things that I recycle, those are the things that really, you can kind of latch on to. I'm very selective about these things. I in the beginning when I started this, I wasn't that selective, and it hurt because people would leave, or they would stop following my Twitter account, or they would stop tuning in. So what I found out that's really important is it's really important to lock in on issues that are really important, and to make sure that those issues get focus and they get air. They have room to breathe. And now once I've done that, which has been happening over the last 4 or 5 days, it's been exploding. I mean, I went from about 40 or so people on Twitter, and now I'm almost at 200. And most of these are actual participants, people that do communicate with me. And that's really what I'm looking for. It's not that the quantity that I'm after, it's the quality. People that do want to take action. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to be all about, which is action. I really hate the idea that sometimes people can go to rallies or can do certain things, and the action at the end of the day really didn't mean that much. So please communicate with me, communicate with each other, and let's see what we can do. The best part about going along and learning is that you never know how far you can take it until you try. So let's try, let's do it, let's go. Thank you.